Hello again, everybody. This is now part 3 of our Kingsfield walkthrough, or show-through as I like to call it. You remember when I spoke of that archer dropping the rhombus key and not having it? This was the archer that dropped it. And while we're talking about archers, just a reminder that I always like to kill them because they remain dead, so you don't have to deal with them shooting you in the back later on as you try to get through slow doorways like this one. Now that we've killed the giant termite and rescued Sandler, the village, or the path to the central village will be open now. This vendor here is particularly useful. He will take any two of your crystals and turn them into crystal flasks. And you won't see me do that here in this walkthrough, but you definitely should. Every time you're near this village, you should make sure you don't have two crystals, because if you do, you should come and make a flask out of them. We're actually in an area called Harvine's Castle right now. It's important to remember this because we will have to return later on, and I probably won't show you exactly how to get back here. It's off of a path off the main central village. There's a bunch of items and stuff for us to get here, including experience, but we can't do everything, so we will have to come back at a certain point. Now this next little room can be very scary. These guys can kill you pretty quick. You want to run in and try and avoid their fireballs and then get the kills really quick while making sure to use that healing button as soon as you can. As you can see by watching, I barely make it, but it's important to have success in this room, and you'll see why in just a moment. Killing these phases not only makes the path easier to walk and grants a lot of experience, but it will be 100% required for something we do later on. So go ahead and do it now so that you can have the experience part early on. The battle hammer is a terrific but slow weapon. It does really well on skeletons, but the stamina gauge to use it fills very slowly. This is yet another rhombus key you probably don't need, but I can't help myself but collect them all. That way we can't possibly run out. Now I screw up just a little bit here. I waste time, unfortunately. What you want to do is just use the Stargate right away, and then continue on to the next portion of the game, the pirates cave. But well, one of the two pirates caves. But I also head back to the fountain rooms to refill my HP and MP before I go there. It's up to you whether you want to do this or not. If you don't feel you need to, then you can just carry on. But I always like to play it safe. So if you go to the fountain area, you'll do that, then use the Stargate again, and we'll progress as soon as we do that. We are deliberately heading back to the beginning of the game now. This time it isn't for me to show you where we are for a frame of reference, but we actually have business to take care of. So when we step out of the main door, we're going to want to turn left at the bridge. I'm going to go right here for just a moment to show you the giant squid, this time just for a frame of reference. But the direction we want to go is left. This boardwalk should look familiar, but this time instead of going left to the save point, we're going to jump off to this seemingly inaccessible area. NPCs will in fact claim that this area can't be reached, but this is how you get to it, by jumping. These big swinging axes that were in front of us back there are pretty damn dangerous. I suggest not trying to run through them. There actually is a way to run through them and live, but even if you know what you're doing, it's still really dangerous, so don't do it. Instead, try to do what I do. See how the left one is slower? If you time it right, there's a floor trap you can fall through. I still failed even though I know what I'm doing. See how dangerous it is? There's nothing random about this part. The chest on the left will always contain the verdite, and the other two will always contain skeletons. If you don't want to fight them, you don't have to. There's no point in it, except for to get experience, so I recommend that you do. This chest here is the main reason we came to this little dungeon. The item inside is called the Skull Key. And afterward, you'll see me searching the walls for a secret room or cavity that isn't there. I could have sworn there was for some reason, but I checked pretty thoroughly and I didn't find anything. Now what's about to happen is one of the fun parts of Kingsfield, in that keys will have more than one use, like the pirate's key here unlocks this chest for another crystal flask. You'll probably recognize this cave. This is the cave I go to very first thing when I start my walkthrough, and we pick up a night sword off the ground, making sure to avoid these skeletons. This time we're going to kill them because we have the battle hammer, and then we're going to use the skull key we picked up only a few minutes ago. That was one of the two items that makes it all worth the trouble. We also have to go and find another chest that's locked. That sword was the bastard sword. It's a pretty good weapon, but the battle hammer is only a little slower and definitely more powerful. The chest isn't locked, that's my mistake. And then we pick up a dragon stone. This will complete our fountain, which we'll do here in just a moment. The gold water here in the fountain that'll be made in the center is the best stuff in the game. It refills both your HP and MP, so what you're going to want to do is fill all of your flasks with it. Again, you don't see me do this in the show through, but never mind that. Do what I say, not as I do, and fill all your flasks with the gold water. Yep, we are back at the beginning once again. This time we want to purposefully go right towards the giant squid, because we're going to murder him. And this is how we do it. Stand from a distance after killing all the fish in the water. Make sure not to go on the land, because the giant squid will kill you in one hit, probably. And if he doesn't, he'll knock you off into the drink. Then you just cast Fireball at him over and over and over again. Eventually, he'll die. It will use up a lot of your flasks, especially if you miss. And what you don't want to do, you'll see me do here in a moment. There was another fish out in the deeper ocean that couldn't reach me, but the sound of him freaked me out, so I turned and I wasted some fireballs on him. Don't do that. MP is very precious. You want to use all of it on this giant squid, because even if you don't use all of it on him, there's more behind him you have to kill. And you won't know it from watching the video unless you pay very careful attention, but I cut some of the video out, a lot of the video out, and there was probably 700 more shots than what you saw. That's an exaggeration, but I'm trying to make a point. It'll take a really long time, but don't be discouraged. The giant squid will eventually fall. These guys in here are advanced regular squid enemies. Obviously, you see them shooting magic. They're actually really difficult, but do your best to get through them. It's very worth it. I should point out at this time that you don't actually have to come here, kill the giant squid and all of his stronger minions at this time. I do it now because I like to, and we have the gold flasks, so it's a proof of our ability, so to speak. But you don't have to do it. The reward at the end is what's known as a shrine key, a very important key, but not something you can use for a while. So if you want to put this off, if you're finding it too difficult, or it just seems like a waste of time, that's okay. Just make sure to come back and do it at some point.